What's going on, family? You are now listening to the Fitness Headspace podcast. This is episode 9, brought to you by Deion Avril from Evolve Fitness. Y'all know what I'm about to say, because we get fit and we don't quit all day, every day. And I hope you all are doing phenomenal today. If you guys could go ahead and just leave me a like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do, I'd greatly appreciate it. One is better than none, right? But again, what we're trying to do is just build this community and make sure that we're able to help each other grow, expand our knowledge, and also just help each other get to our goals more efficiently. So what I want to tell you guys is give you a quick little update in regards to what's new. So as we speak, the website is in the works and it should be done within the next 3 to 4 weeks. I also will be creating new programs. So these are going to be online programs that you can purchase at a very reasonable cost, where you can use at home or at the gym, depending on the situation. We'll be able to have things like if you're doing at home with minimal to no equipment, and also it's going to have alternatives with a little bit more equipment as well too. So if you guys have any special requests, just feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to adjust things and work with you guys as well too. I also have some new t-shirt design concepts that are coming out. So I'll be posting those on like IG and possibly Facebook to see what you guys think and what you like. And of course, the ones that have, the more popular vote, those are going to be the ones that I'm going to be pushing out first. So you guys just keep that in mind. Okay. So now we're going to hop right into the topics of discussion. So for Fitness for All, I wanted to keep it very simple today. I wanted to give you guys some low impact cardio options that you can utilize in the gym. And then next week, I'll switch it up a little bit for things outside as well, too. Okay. So the first one is going to be the step aerobics. Now, this one has actually become one of my favorites, mainly because it's very universal when it comes to age. You don't have to be a certain age with these, but I like to use these with my older clientele. So people who might have like knee issues, hip issues, if they're comfortable and of course they're cleared to use some of these different machines or whatever the case is, especially like accessories, because I would consider this an accessory. This is what I like to use. And I'll use this either towards the end as we're doing like a cool down, or if we're just trying to get the heart rate up at the beginning and kind of like a little warm up to get the legs going, get the heart rate pumping, get the blood flowing in general. I'll use this as well. So this is something that I use to make cardio more exciting and just change things up instead of doing the same thing and it gets boring from time to time. So if you guys are looking for a step or like the steppers, depending on your gym, they usually have them. PF has them, YF has them, UFit, Planet Fitness, and I believe LA has them. So most places have them. And if they don't, you can purchase them on Amazon or more than likely eBay. You just put in stepper aerobics. You could get the long ones. I've found them at what was that? Ross did have them at one time, but again, these are hit and miss and they change things on a daily basis. Now, as far as in the gym physically is going to be the elliptical is the next one. So these put a lot less stress on your legs, in my opinion, and your hips as well too. So for a lot of clients, along with myself, the ones that tell me like, the Stairmasters will hurt their knees, or for example, the treadmill will give them shin splints, or just makes them feel uncomfortable, whether it's a regular pace walk or with an incline as well. I usually have them use that. And then if I want to reduce the amount of time that they're on the elliptical, what I'll do is have them do like a 20-minute interval or sometimes 15, and we'll just kind of offset it. So for example, they'll do like 30 seconds on or 30 seconds off. And again, the 30 seconds on is very moderate. It's nothing too crazy. And then as we get towards the middle and the end, we'll turn it up a notch and say, 20 seconds on, which is, as fast as you can. And then we're recovering for 40 seconds. Take a rest and then hop back in it again too. And just kind of pay attention to how you feel and where your heart rate is as well too. We don't want it out the roof. So you can condense the amount of time that you're doing cardio, but still burn a reasonable amount of calories with less time, which I think is pretty dope. Now, my next option is going to be the TRX band. A lot of people don't use these or don't know if they have them, but these are suspension bands. And what I like about these is the fact that it's easier on the joints. It helps you with your form on a lot of things as well too, especially with squats. So for people that I know that might have issues with getting into a squat position, this is usually one of the ways that I like to utilize it. Or what I'll do is take one of the large stability or medicine balls and place it on the wall and place their back against that ball and tell them to slowly come down into, that 90 degree. It doesn't have to be like 100%. It depends on that person's, biomechanics and how they move personally. So those are some of the two different ways that I use it. But the TRX bands in general are a really good way to incorporate cardio. So for example, we'll do like jump squats, alternating lunges, and there's a couple of other things that you can do as well. So these are just options that you do have if your gym has it. I think I was looking at the original TRXs. They're like, I think anywhere between 150 and 2 minimum. And I found some Enduro Sport ones at Marshalls. I should have bought the other set, but they were $17. So like $20 after taxes almost. So those are some options that you guys can use for low impact in regards to cardio when you're in the gym. So the next topic is going to be, of course, fitness myths. So the first one is a really good one, in my opinion, is that drastic calorie cutting is necessary for weight loss. Now, you guys already know how I feel about that. I'm going to say no. And the reason why I think this is really important to address this myth in particular is because a lot of people are getting caught up with realistically, yes, you do have to eat less. So you're in a caloric deficit. So it will then help you, reduce your weight. But the thing is, a drastic cut is going to be very unhealthy. So for example, if somebody's eating, let's say you are tracking your macros on MyFitnessPal or anything of that nature, and you're eating 2,500 calories, dropping 500 calories for 7 days, yes, that's the whole 3,500, which drops a pound a week roughly. Yeah, that's fine. That's what most people use. That's the metric that MyFitnessPal will use as well too for you. Now, to say that you're cutting that, like your calories, and like, let's say you're doing 1,000 calories as opposed to 2, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. I'd rather say somebody's like did 25, come down to 2,000, drop down another like 17, 1,800, see how you feel, watch your body. Because once you get to that point to where you're taking nothing in, you have to be very cautious as far as hormonally. So there's going to be a lot of things that will start to get affected. So your stress levels, your sleep will start to change, your mood will change. So there's a lot of things that you have to be very careful of when it does come to that. Now, in my opinion, instead of doing a drastic caloric, cut, what you would want to do is drop your calories reasonably and then move more. Okay, so that could be anything as far as walking outside. So what I would suggest people to do if you have the time is, if you're on lunch and you're eating, let's say you eat and you have another 20-25 minutes, go take a walk for 15 to 20 minutes. And then when you come home after you eat, if you have the opportunity and it's not too late, go walk for another 15 to 20 minutes. Make the time, because a lot of people just sit on the couch and watch TV, whatever the case is, but you could utilize that time to still burn more calories and put you in a caloric deficit without having to drastically drop your calories and be hangry all the time, if that makes sense. So that's one of the myths that I think is really important, and that would be a way that you can address it. Now, again, if you don't want to move more, you could just do more cardio as well. But I would suggest that you could try to get a balance of all three if it's possible based on your lifestyle. So the second myth is going to be that being healthy or in shape is all about exercise. Absolutely not. Because again, this is going to be primarily focused on your nutrition first. All right. So the thing is you've probably heard this saying, and I don't take it to heart 100%, but they'll say that your nutrition is about 70 to 80% of your results. I'm going to agree. I won't give it a certain number, but I will say that it's well over 50%. And the only reason why is because, again, a lot of people will get in phenomenal shape without the gym. Thinking about this whole thing that had just went down, within the last year and a half, almost 2 years, a lot of people were still able to get physically fit based on the way that they were eating. And that's the thing. A lot of people had this whole thing of, this at this point in time a year ago, I got depressed, like, you're making excuses for yourself. You're legitimately making excuses for yourself. And I'm not trying to be cold-hearted, but it's just like, bro, there were so many people who were going through things and they found a way to persevere and overcome it. So don't use that as a crutch. You need to get up. You just need to move. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't get stuck just because somebody's telling you not to go outside. Bro, go outside. Like, you might, stay your distance away from people, but still go outside and move. You shouldn't feel bad for yourself. You shouldn't completely stop everything that you're doing just because somebody told you to. You know what I'm saying? Any other time you wouldn't. That's just like us growing up and our parents telling us not to do something. Bro, we're going to go do it. You get what I'm saying? So I find it very interesting that people did use that as an excuse. But ultimately, what I'm saying is that the primary thing that you really want to focus on is healthy habits. That's what's going to get you in shape. Okay, healthy habits and eating habits at that. So once you start understanding what your body needs and what it doesn't need, and you're making that list, like I said last week on episode 8, if you haven't checked that out, I'm gonna plug it. Go check it out. But again, if you have that opportunity to write down on a daily what you're logging, like you're logging in what you're eating, you could see that, oh, okay, well, man, I just had 2 bags of chips. Let me pull one out. You get what I'm saying? I didn't say both of them. Pull one out. Okay, I had 2 sodas and 2 beers today. All right, take 1 soda and 1 beer away. You get what I'm saying? So everything has to be done in a small process and make adjustments as you move forward. So that would be my personal opinion in regards to how to approach being healthy, because it's not all about exercise. Exercise, yeah, your muscles will get a little bit more, as people would call it, tone, but you'll have a little bit more definition. You'll have a little bit more volume. It'll look better because now not only are you incorporating a proper nutrition plan, it's going to also be in conjunction with your exercise as well too. So our last myth, so long hours of steady state cardio is the key to weight loss. All right, so this is just like the drastic calorie cut. So it's the same concept, but the only difference is instead of cutting your food, you reversed it and you're adding more cardio. Now, for the bodybuilding world, we already know what time it is. I don't have to really explain it, but I will. Bodybuilders are a little bit different because we have to get to a certain point to where there's a certain physique that you're looking for based on your division. So yes, that would make sense in the sense of doing a little bit more for that. And it's not even weight loss. It's more conditioning at that point to an extent. And then, you got like plyometrics that you can use for conditioning. So HIIT that you can use for conditioning, but you got to be very careful once you get down to the last few weeks. But side note, again, for the general population, what I'm saying is that you do not need excessive cardio. So this is, like I said before with the first myth, all you have to do is balance it. So if you know that, all right, cool, I'm eating 2,300 calories and I'm plateauing after 2 weeks, then what you can do is you could drop your calories a little bit, or you can increase your cardio a little bit, or you can move more a little bit. So those are your 3 options. It's going to always be your main 3 options. There's not really any other options in my opinion. And if anybody knows any other, feel free to let me know. But those are going to be the 3 primary sources that you're going to want to mix and combine. So I prefer that person to drop 200 to 300 calories right off of their nutrition, like their macros now from that 2,300. So go down to 2,000. And then if you need to pull another 200, then add maybe 10 to 15 minutes of cardio throughout the week and see how you feel. And then you can also add in a little bit more of moving. You get what I'm saying? Or you could do a sport or something like that. You could play ball, whatever the case is, once or twice a week. Just make sure that you're mindful of what days run on what. So, some people playing basketball, their legs are tired, their arms are tired. So you got to be very mindful when you go do upper body or, for example, lower body, because you've been running on your legs. So these are the things that I would tell people just to try to be mindful of. It doesn't have to be placed strategically in this case for the general pop, but just be mindful of that as you move forward. All right, y'all. So we're going straight into it. Next, we are going into diet and nutrition. So a lot of these are going to be very straightforward, and I'm going to give you some reasons why you want to do it. So the first one is that you want to ditch added sugar. Now, you'll be surprised how many things that we drink or eat that have added sugar. So, for example, I used to love, I hate to throw them out there like that, but Bolt House Farms had like this super kale green juice and all that. I was just like, bro, this is lit. You get what I'm saying? But the issue with all that is the fact that it has a lot of additional added sugar. So my thing is like, if it's supposed to be natural, like the natural sugars is one thing, but added sugar, why are you guys adding additional sugar? You get what I'm saying? So the issue with sugar is that it's very addictive, or addicting, but addictive anyway. But the whole point with that is the fact that it's like the whole sweet and salty psychology. So if you have something that's sweet and salty, it's the perfect mix. It's like, oh my gosh, like me, I love that. The Chex, I think it's like the brown bag, the caramel or whatever the case is. My gosh, I haven't ate that in a couple of months, probably close to a year, but that used to be my crutch. You get what I'm saying? And then for me, also Cheez-Its, because they're salty. You get what I'm saying? So they find that perfect mix that gets people hooked. And that's also a main issue in regards to like diabetes and heart disease. So again, these come from sugary drinks, sugary foods, sweet snacks, whatever you want to call them. And it does cause an unhealthy weight gain too. So it's like, why would we want to do all that? Cause weight gain, health problems like diabetes and heart disease. There's no need for that. So what we need to do is just be very mindful of that. So it could be like things like baked goods, but the thing is not even the fact that they have added sugar. They're lower nutrients. So the issue with that is that it doesn't even have the profile to make sure that your body is being, it's given the nutrients that it's needed to work properly, if you think about it. So that would also be a way, if you start cutting some of those sugars now, or not even if, when you start cutting those sugars, you're going to start to lose a lot of excess weight too. So be very mindful of that. So for example, like, a lot of people will tell you it's healthy or organic, but although it says that, still read the back of it. Don't look at sugars, look at added sugars. All right. And sometimes they're still going to lie to you, but just be very mindful of that. Now, the second thing in regards to diet and nutrition is that make sure you have room for healthy fats. So the thing is a lot of people tend to drop fats when they're trying to slim down and cut, which is fine. But the issue is that you need to make sure that you have healthy fats. They will also help you reach your weight loss goals. So usually a lot of people don't know that there's several studies that show that people who have high fat diets. So for example, like keto, but I'm not pushing keto, but I'm just saying. So things like olive oil, avocados, nuts, they will help you maximize weight loss. So my thing is the one thing that I love about fats is that the satiety. So it keeps you full for longer. So I just wouldn't eat it excessively, because still you can be in a caloric surplus over time. So for example, if I just eat a whole box of nuts, yeah, I'll be somewhat full. But the thing is your calorie count goes up high because it's very dense food. So for example, it'll be like a small palm worth of peanuts. That's 180 calories. So if you're not careful, that'll definitely be a big issue moving forward. So just keep that in mind, but you do want to add in some healthy fats, like I'd mentioned before. Now, the last one for diet and nutrition is you can legitimately walk your way to health. And many people believe that you have to have some like rigorous exercise routine, or you need to have some crazy drastic caloric cut, like I'd said earlier, to jumpstart the weight loss. And you legitimately don't. So there's different activities that you can utilize when you're trying to adjust, for example, just your habits and your lifestyle, okay? That'll help you burn additional calories. So all you really need is 30 minutes of walking every day, okay? Every day. And I guarantee you that you'll be able to lose weight. And the only reason why I say I guarantee you is because, again, you're still burning calories. If you start adjusting everything that we had mentioned above, plus the 30 minutes, y'all golden, family. I promise y'all going to be golden. So what the other thing that I would suggest is make sure that it's a activity that you enjoy. So if you're going out with the kids and you're walking, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You're spending time with the babies, or however old they are, and just connecting and bonding with them. But also, this is for your health as well too. And you can also set the example and set the standards for the babies too. So these are things that I like to think about on the long term. It's like, oh yeah, dad and mom used to take me walking, and now I'm doing the same thing. But although it's habitual now, it's a positive habitual thing, as opposed to sitting down eating ice cream every evening, or whatever the case is. So these are things that you could utilize. Don't take me wrong, ice cream is good. I ain't throwing shade at nobody. I'm just saying everything in moderation, if that makes sense. All right. Guys, believe it or not, and gals, we are officially at the end of the episode. So it's a super early one this week. Just because, again, I wanted to cut down the time and just get straight to the point nowadays, instead of being so long-winded and making these 30 minutes. So I'm trying to cut them down to like 20, 25 minutes at the most, and give you all the information condensed and compact. And you can always come back to it and share it to somebody as well too. Now, again, guys, if you could just do me one quick favor, and gals, all right, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe. Send me any ideas, any questions that you might have for the next episode, or anything in general moving forward, because I'd greatly appreciate it. I love doing this stuff because, again, I know that it's going to reach out. It's going to get to one person. And if it gets to one person, that's all that matters to me, because I know that one person will be able to share that knowledge to someone else. And that's how knowledge continues to grow and evolve, as far as somebody else learning something new as well, too. You're supposed to learn something new every day. I know I do. So with that being said, family, I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your day, evening, night, morning, whenever you plan on watching this. Or if you're rewatching this, that's dope. And I will catch up with you guys later on episode 10. I'm out.